Okay, this one's from Jimmy Crack Corn. Ask Frank how well or how involved was Tony with Stu Unger, the three-time WSOP main event champ. I believe Tony bankrolled him to some extent and heard Tony beat him up for bringing a gun into his house.
I don't know about this, him beating this guy up. I know he knew him, and I know he bankrolled him too. I didn't really get involved with Tony's gambling as exploitates unless some guy was stiffing Tony. Then it's a different story. That was his business, all right? That's why Tony lasted so long. In other words, the right hand never knew what the left hand was doing, vice versa. So he was pretty sharp that way. But I know the guy. I know you're talking about.
Colada, colada, grab your favorite brew. Ask a question, he'll answer it for you. The mafia, the mafia, the mafia, the mafia. You better hit prescribe if you know what's good for you. Drinking a cup of coffee with Frank Colada. He'll tell you a lot, cause he's Colada.
Okay, this one's from Mikey M. Link to coffee cups and books from him I can, but I'd love to get a mobster cookbook. That's awesome, LOL. Also, if you do another one of these, my question is, what's your opinion on John Gotti, Sammy the Bull, or Michael Franzese?
I don't know Michael Franzese, and I heard he's into religion now. That's good. Hopefully he's genuine in it. And he never talks about that he testified. He said he didn't. I don't know how he got away with it, because all the Russians he was dealing with went to jail. I don't know if he went to jail, this Mike Franzese. If he's stealing $1 million, I think he said a day, from these gas stations of gas, it's a lot of friggin' money. I said, it's like hard to believe. But then again, who am I to dispute that? I don't know him personally. I don't care to know him. If he's out there making a few bucks, that's his business. If he's got that kind of money, then he's only looking for notoriety. That's my belief. Sammy the Bull had his reasons to roll, the same as mine. He's a man. I think they blew him up a lot, but he was a good guy. He should have never got involved with the drugs. And then again, I heard it was his children. I hope he does well. It's a shame he did 20 years in jail for drugs. John Gotti, yeah, to me, he's a 2-year flash in the pan. He killed a big guy, made him famous. I could never work for him. To me, he was a blowhard. You see the way he dressed and sat there. He was happy. He was a crook. Overnight success, became a big gangster. Because he had a crew like Sammy the Bull and these guys that would kill for him. You remember, a boss is only as strong as those guys that they got around him. Without his guys, he ain't shit. And that's it.
Okay, this is from Canaryville 773. Great vid as always. I got a question for you, Frank. I read and heard about your work cars used like the Illinois Bell truck with the Caddy motor. But did you guys use guys to build them from around the patch that you knew?
Of course.
Or did you have particular garages and mechanics all over the city building them cars for you? And would a mustache have that kind of power in his personal cars just in case? Stay well, Frank. Looking forward to the next installment.
There's a lot of questions there, my friend. A mustache, their personal cars were their personal cars. They may have had stashes put in their cars where they could conceal a weapon. As far as the engines, they would buy the biggest engine car they could from the factory. They didn't have them puffed up. Not the ones I know. Work cars, of course we didn't go different places. We had mechanics. They used to build our cars for us, put superchargers on them, change the transmission, change the suspension, all of that stuff. Trucks, the same thing. Pickup trucks, we'd convert them, put Cadillac engines, and we call them Cadillacs, Fords with a Cadillac engine. And then we did all of that. Painters, we had body and fender guys that used to do that. Body and fender guys actually taught a lot of thieves how to steal cars. I don't think you people realize that. When that insurance company tell them, pick up a car, they go to these tow shops. Well, they needed to get the car on once they got it there. One of these guys that, I never forget, this one guy's name was Don Trosnato. He worked for us guys. He had his own body shop. We put him in business. He called, he said, hey, I just figured out how to steal this kind of car. He'd go by the column. He showed us how to break the column down. How you break the lock on the wheel. You stick the screwdriver. He invented it, this guy. Don. Nobody knew how to do that. But the first thing he showed us was how to pull the lock out of the ignition with the pullers, the dent puller. You use a dent puller. You screw in there, boom, 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 and you pull it out, the whole thing. You stick a screwdriver in it, turn it, start the car. But then they start pulling the wheel locks on. That's when we used to break the wheel lock underneath. Who taught us? Body and fender guy. Now, we tried to keep that quiet. How long are you going to keep that quiet? It gets around right away. And they taught us a lot of stuff, these guys. Same thing, I'll go to something else, off the subject. Do you think we all know how to open up safes? What do I know about a safe? But I know a guy that went to school to be a locksmith. And when he went to school to be a locksmith, he would teach us. So we'd go to him, how do you get in a Mosler? Whatever the safe was. Where's the pin? Instead of tearing the door apart, ripping and peeling, we call them peeling them. You peel it, all the steel away from the cement and so on. And they say, I'll get you a diagram. I have diagrams. These guys open up safes legitimately if somebody lost their comm. Piece of paper you put up he said, but you're going to need a high-power drill with diamond tip drill heads. What do I know about diamond tip? So we had to go rob that stuff. We robbed the drill, and we put it on a magnet. We put the diagram on the door of the safe. Boom! That thing would stick on the safe. They had the drill on it. Start it. You use electric or batteries. Right in. Hold the pins. Open up the door. That's when I really became a professional. Then there was another way we learned after that. Another way, call it a burning bar. It's in the movie The Thief. Burning bar. It's this big rod you hold. You light it up and you burn the whole freaking building down. It was difficult to use. You had to know what you're doing. We learned that though.
This next one is from Giants Freak. He said, when people ask me what I like about Trump, I say the same shit because he's got balls. I love this guy.
I like him too.
Okay, Giants Freak also said, I love this channel. One question I've been wondering is who ran the drug scene in Las Vegas and did Chicago make any money off it?
You know, this is funny that you said that. We didn't mess with, only thing we did in Vegas was rob drug dealers. I was told, whatever you do, don't become a salesman. Don't go out there and sell this and that to these people. I never wanted to do that anyway. If you rob the drugs, sell the whole bunch to one guy if you got a connection. Otherwise, throw them away. I thought, throw them away. So we used to rob drug dealers, kilos of cocaine. An apartment one time we went in. They used to rent these places, these drug dealers. The whole living room was 10-pound bags or 5-pound, whatever it was. There were bundles of marijuana rolled in plastic. It was like unbelievable. And we'd steal this stuff. And then we know we have one guy here, one guy there. We'd sell it. Now, one particular time, you had these foreigners from another country that were big in it. I don't want to say their nationalities. There was a lot of money made in it. So my partner Ernie said, this guy, he's got a lot of drugs in his house. And he said what nationality it was. At that time, we referred to people as their nationalities. He said, there might be repercussions. I said, what's the difference? So we went and robbed the guy. I think we robbed him for about 80, 90,000. Well, the guy knew right where to come. So he came to my restaurant, the Upper Cross. And he said, I know you guys did it. I can't prove it. So I'm looking at him and I'm letting him talk. I'm letting him get it all out of his mouth. I already got his money. I'm not worried about any threats. So I threatened them. I said, if you ever show up at this restaurant again, I don't care if you're a block away from here, you're going to be gone. Do you understand that? You don't scare anybody here. They used the part in the movie Casino that I said, you see me now? You see me? If you whack me, you see that guy? You look. You could testify in him, but there's the other guy you don't see. He's the guy that's going to get you. I just remember what I'm telling you. You got no fucking win. They leave town. They leave town with their tail in between their legs. There was a guy, his name was Russo, not Johnny Russo. And he used to come around my restaurant. And he wore the gold rings and the diamonds. And he was selling coke. And I listened to him talk, and I wasn't thinking of muscling him because he was from Chicago. I said, how do you get away with it out here? I was angling him, right? I could do it. He said, I'm talking to you. He said, maybe we could work out something where I have no issues. He's opening up the door now for me to move in and muscle him. But I got to go through Tony. So I said, let me talk to the guys in Chicago. So I tell Tony Splaccio, I got this guy. He wants to go into drug business. He's in the drug business now. I said, I met him through Joey DiFranzo. And he says, oh, you did? I said, he's big on coke. He said, well, Joey should know better. I said, Tony, what do I know? I know Joey's brother's Johnny DiFranzo. What do you want me to tell you? He says, this is what you tell this guy. Tell this guy you reached out and you talked to the bosses in Chicago, and tell him that in order for him to operate in Vegas, he's got to come up with $300,000. I said, are you serious? I laughed. He said, yeah. He said, don't worry, you're opening up the door, you're scaring him. I said, all right. Next time I see the guy, he comes to the restaurant, he used to drive a little Seville. He gets out, he says, yeah, what did you find out? I said, could be bad news, could be good news. They want Trent large for you to operate. Oh my God. Can't you do better? I don't have that kind of working capital. Oh, please. I said, I'll see what I could do. I tell Tony laughs. Tell him they'll do it for 150. Same story. Guy cries and moans and screams. Then go down to 100. If you don't budge on 100, then you know what to do. I said, all right. So I played that game with him. I knew none of it was going to work. So now I figure I go on my own with this guy. I still have Tony connected. So I tell him, listen, the best I could do for you, and I'm putting my head on the chopping block, we'll start you out at 50G. They want a percentage of the coke you sell as it goes down, like 5%, 10%. Oh, that's good. I said, meet us. When could you have it? And he said, I got it. That's all I got. So we set him to meet us at the Stardust in the coffee shop. I got Ernie here. I'm here. The guy's there. We got a guy sitting over there. The guy hands me the 50G. We're supposed to give him back. I'm sorry. I jumped ahead of the story because I'm watching you look around at people. You're distracting me. I'm going to fire you. We robbed the guy's house a week before that. We took all his money, all his jewelry, everything. Now the guy, because he hadn't come up with the 50, see, I jumped out of my story. Now he's got to buy back his jewelry and stuff for 50G. So he's coming with the 50G. Leo robbed the house. He went in and opened up the safe. So and then the guy said, I've been robbed. And I said, well, we got your stuff. And then he wants to come up with the 50. So as I said, we passed the money on to Ernie. Ernie's looking at the money. The guy walks by, takes the money out of Ernie's hand. Hey, you got my... I said, relax. I says, you're stiff, you beat. You want your stuff back? Got to come up with another 50. Holy Christ, where am I going to get it? I said, I'll tell you what to do. Leave town. You ain't going to get it. Just leave town. So we wound up with the guy's jewelry, his cash, and the other 50. Guy left. I went to give Tony $20,000.
Okay.
You think the guy likes me? It's the truth.